So, welcome to our reflections. This is Mark Waller and the lovely.
Christina Black. Oh, sorry. The way you said and, I thought you were leading me in, like, say your name.
Yeah, I was.
And today, Mark wants to talk to you about.
So I'm Mark Waller, and this is Christina Black, and these are our reflections on the recording we just did for our Mastering Thought channel,
Mhm.
which was kind of monumental, and some reflections on what we're working on for next week. And
Mhm.
we really appreciate you enjoying this. Kind of a look behind the scenes as to what's going on with us and what we're thinking about and how
Mhm.
we're doing all this stuff. So,
Yep.
my first question for you was, what was your overall impression? I mean, after we kind of hung up the phone the other day and put that thing in the can, what was your thinking about it?
So, a couple things. One, I just like learning physics, and it is like above my head still at this point, some of it, like a good chunk of it, but I don't stress out about that. I know that this type of knowledge is going to take some time to build. And so I'm just aware that I'm doggy paddling and I am seeing and making some connections that seem meaningful. Uh, the other thing is, my husband got this book on simulation theory,
Uh,
and I don't know, I just could kind of like, I could kind of see that overlapping too.
oh, I'm sure. Just so
Yeah.
everybody knows who's listening to this, we're referring to the episode we just recorded
Oh, right.
called The Structure of Presence, where we kind of just introduced a brand new way of looking at the whole topic of presence
Yeah.
as being, not something it's like me being here present. It's a living pattern that we participate in.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
it's made a profound impression on me. I mean, just a profound impression on me.
Right. What are some of the things that, like, if someone hasn't caught that episode yet, what would you say were some like key principles that you keep chewing on now?
So the thing that impressed me the most is the fact that presence is this living field of all possibilities. It's
Mm-hmm.
trying to experience itself. In earlier episodes, we called it the quantum field,
Mm-hmm.
and it basically has a roadmap or an imprint as to what my life is supposed to be. Well, you could call it your higher self or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and and it's really all about coming into alignment with that.
Yeah.
And when you come into alignment with it, then you experience presence.
Right.
And it's very, very powerful. And presence could be also described as a flow state,
Mm-hmm.
lots of very intuitive knowing, aha moments.
Yeah.
And what has impressed me about that is I've just kind of become aware of myself. I'm now monitoring more than ever little discordant things that might come up because I know they're not part of the harmonic expression of awareness that I'm supposed
Mm.
to have.
Wow. That's so cool. I mean, it's like I have been experiencing similar things because this week has had a glow about it since kind of just uh for me, I guess, kind of realizing that there is this pattern that happens in nature, I guess, and that I see similarities to how people respond to energy style body work. And that's just so exciting to me. One of my biggest hopes for my lifetime is to be able to understand and explain what's happening in the body while people are having body work done, because it's so healing to the mind, body, and spirit. And being able to get pieces to this puzzle of being able to explain like why this works. It's not magic. It is science. There is something magic feeling about it, but maybe that's the harmonics and it's feels right because it is so right for you. That's just so encouraging to me.
I think what you're saying really hits home because you and I, for a long time, I mean, we've worked together for several years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's this been underlying tension between us in terms of, the way I do therapy and the way you do body work and trying to
Mm-hmm.
bridge those two things.
Yeah.
And this, for some reason, this model seems to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
finally makes complete sense to me in a way it never has before, how therapy and body work, the psychological emotional stuff and the stuff in the body, they're really an expression of kind of the same thing in the same
Totally.
in the same kind of bucket, so to speak. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like between you and I, we have more of a common language now is about what's going on.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been an exciting path for us. It really
So,
has been such a great path to discovery, and I am excited for the people that get benefit from it too.
so you said you've been kind of in the glow of it. In what respect?
Um, that it was happening before I knew about it. And I know about it now, and it's going to keep happening, and it's going to be a constant. And when, like for instance, if we were to take a graph of a wave, like you had expressed on Monday, that certain half of the wave is more about change, like creating change, and the other half is kind of more about assessing itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's so much intelligence there already, and this dance goes on without anyone controlling it. I don't actually have to do almost anything. Like I want to enjoy my human life and be a good human person who's a good mom and, wife and friend and worker and all that. Um, and I don't know, just knowing that this dance happens and that all we have to do is be in presence is incredibly freeing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what Christine is referring to is something we talked about. The way the field expresses itself creatively is this kind of expansion,
Hmm.
and the expansion is this creative force that kind of creates, a nuance of whatever is already there so we can experience that. And when it
Hmm.
experiences it, it's also evaluating its work.
Yeah, right.
And so there's this recursion that takes place, and and it evaluates its work, and then it's like saying, okay, well, we'll try this.
Yeah, yeah.
The the other thing that I discovered that I thought was interesting is the whole concept of phi. And phi, I cannot remember. I believe the formula for phi which is phi. Phi equals 1 + 1/phi. Now, you don't need to be a mathematician. I'm not trying to get into the weeds, but that equation explains why each moment is slightly different than the last. So there's,
Having the part of the equation with the divided by phi, that might explain the fractals that
yes,
you showed us. Like how everything branches out and curls and then new branches come off and curls and it just
right,
kind of goes forever smaller and smaller.
right.
A
That's I,
bloom.
that's what creates the expansion. We remember we had the spiral.
Yeah.
Instead of just being a circle, if it's according to the value of phi, it has to be a spiral because it expands uh, and via the golden ratio, and which is
Yeah.
the basis of Fibonacci numbers and so forth. Well, the
Mm-hmm.
point is, when I first started to look into this, I was thinking, well, okay, well, how does how does the field create new things without turning a frog into a swan?
Yeah.
And what it means is that there's an order to it where it's a frog and then it's a better frog or a worse frog, or there's this
Mm-hmm.
constant experimentation with how do I
Right.
create something and refine it according to the pattern that's already in the field.
Mm-hmm.
So my ideal self is already a harmonic pattern in the field, and
Aw, that's so cool.
then so what's happening is through trial and error, this constant creation and recursion, the field is judging how well it's doing with the work,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how progress is made in what we would call you know the creation of reality.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, sometimes no progress is made and the whole thing collapses.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it just tries again.
Right. Another day. Back to the grind.
What else came up? I thought the way of explaining awareness through harmonic distortion and harmonic coherence was really very clear to me, very, very powerful.
That was for me as well. I think I'll feel that dissonance when I have my hands on a client.
Hmm.
Sometimes even when I have my hands off of a client. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I think it's so exciting to be able to get verbiage for things I'd experienced for years too. And that's been such a thing with nervous system work. If anyone's ever had nervous system work done before, the first time you have it, it's kind of like how I mean, you're just trying something new. And so you're making a context for it. You don't have one yet. But these experiences are so unique when they're singled out, what the nervous system does, that people are like floored, And I'll work on babies too, and they'll give me this look like, what is happening right now in their bodies? And it's a happy surprise,
Hmm.
you know? Yeah. I think getting into those harmonics, it just makes people feel alive.
It felt to me like a new definition of presence put it all in perspective that I never had before.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people on the internet saying, "Oh, you need to be more present," and just bring it to presence and presence this and presence that. But they don't they because there's no understanding of what presence really is other than just being here. Then they don't the aspect of handling your issues so you can be present doesn't seem to be part of the equation.
And that sucks too because, people think they know what it means, like being present, maybe. And that's why they're saying you have to be present because you can't command presence like that.
Right.
It's not how it works. And also, it's harder to be present if you're traumatized.
Uh-huh.
And there's a good chance if you haven't done this work that there's trauma you've been stepping under. And that's normal, by the way. Everybody is like that.
Or
Trust
even
the girl who's been working on people for 20 years.
or even just impatience.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, like even in your book said, sometimes your impatience is due to wanting to impress mom or dad or
Hmm.
whoever
Right.
the original caregiver was for you, and you've been wanting to do that your whole life, so let's hurry up and go.
So I might just comment that the structure of presence. This was part one that we did the other
Hmm.
day. Now next
Yeah.
Monday we're going to do part two, and part two I'm really excited about. It's called How Presence Shapes Reality,
Hmm.
and
Hmm. Good
Now,
title.
now listen to this. This is the kind
Mm.
of the subtext. Reality isn't happening to me. It's being shaped through my pattern of awareness.
Mm.
And so the idea here is going to be that what you perceive is shaped by the harmonic structure of your awareness.
Yeah, right. And I almost wonder if, like, when you meet like groups of people that, like, let's say, like a religious group or like a hobby group or lifestyle kind of group, like, I wonder if they all have similar harmonics, like a
Uh-huh.
similar
Oh,
natural draw. Like, I wonder if that's why, we find people in these groups,
that makes perfect
a
sense.
magnetism.
Yeah. So we're going to be exploring that.
It sounds so great.
And it's really about how, coherence and resonance, helps the field express itself without distortion or disruption, and what happens when the harmonics are out of tune. And so maybe if you're listening to this, you've kind of picked this up. Basically, what this model is saying is that, we're not people, we're a tone. We're like a chord being struck on a guitar. And consciousness knows what the chord is supposed to sound like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he
And so it has a stress response if it's not matching.
That's right. And so it
Mm,
strikes the chord, and if there's distortion, harmonic distortion in the chord, because somebody's not hitting the note right, then it has to try again. It has to keep practicing.
right, for sure. One thing I'm thinking too is like when you hear someone tuning or when you're tuning your instrument and you pluck the string, that you're basing the sound off of, and then you pluck the one you're trying to match and turn the keys, and it's like you hear it coming into resonance. You
Mm-hmm.
feel the disharmony when it's not quite right and it's like like in the
Right.
air, and then it goes away, and that, yeah, like that is actually kind of what it feels like when I leave an old belief that no longer serves me and realize like I've had a different belief inside.
Well, it's almost like we're an orchestra, and our different levels of awareness are different instruments in the orchestra.
Right.
And so the idea is not to turn a tuba into a piano, but it's to have them
Right.
harmonize in a way that everything feels right.
Yeah, it complements each other. They complement each other.
And when we're in presence, that's what's happening. All the harmonics work together to create this beautiful expression that we're supposed to be. And that's the whole meaning of life, in a sense,
Totally.
this trial and error that's taking place so we can get that chord struck exactly right. And then we
Yeah.
are who we're supposed to be.
Yeah. I'm having a friend, I'm like sharing witness with a friend that she's seems to be going through her own awakening experience. And I've shared with her the moment mindfulness. I'm not sure how much she's done it, but also she does get a lot of body work done and talks a lot about these types of things with me. And listen to this.
Oops, I just lost you.
Come back. Oh,
There
yay,
you're
I'm
back.
here.
You're back.
Sorry, I had to run. I'm back now though. But so listen to this text. It almost sounds like I could have written it. And it's kind of based on what we were talking about with presence. But she wrote, sense seems to be making around me, like making its way around me in a way I've never experienced before. And I just love that phrase, like sense seems to be making itself around me. Like it is so passive. I am just an observer. I am here and I haven't experienced life like this before.
Great.
Yeah. I don't know. Does that imagery hit you at all? Like, sense almost being this physical presence that surrounds you.
Sense?
Yeah, like things make sense.
Oh,
Things are in
yes,
order.
right.
Yeah.
So somebody who used to play a lot of golf, and I know your husband Brett can relate to this.
I
When
thought it
you're
was going to be him for at first.
when everything is working right, you just everything just flows. Everything
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Best day of your life is when you're playing a great game of golf.
And then if you start thinking about it, everything goes to hell in a handbag real quick. I might mention that there is going to be a part three. Part three is called Becoming the Pattern, Living the Structure of Presence. And to me, this is
Mm.
so exciting. So we're gonna learn how to live presence,
Mm-hmm.
not to be present, but to allow the harmonic of presence to express itself through our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think this is a completely different approach. So
Yeah.
part two will be next week, how presence shapes reality, and then part three will be about becoming the pattern. And where's the pattern? The pattern is already in the field,
Right. It's already there. You just got to step into the flow, in the current.
and it's really an act of remembering.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because your limbic system comes in so quick to take your presence. Like it
Yeah.
wants to be useful so bad, and it's, I guess, seeing things that are concerning it, and it just wants to come back. But like that's when life gets a lot less fun.
So this is kind of an inside look at what we're thinking about, what we're doing in the middle of this.
Yeah.
I would invite you to go back and to the channel and watch, the structure of presence part one.
Yeah.
And then next week we'll meet again between sessions and talk about how our recording of how presence shapes reality, how that went and how it impacted us.
Yeah. It's been um exciting, and I hope that everybody's feeling resonance with this too, because like I don't want you and me to be the only ones that have this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, that's one of the things I'm working on is how to find harmony with those people so they join us in this
Mm.
adventure.
Ooh, interesting point. Okay, a couple other thoughts before we wrap up. So, one, you said we're a frequency, and I thought that was interesting because that's how I believe constitutional homeopathy operates off of that belief. And at the very least, the woman that I see explained it that way because I had asked her one time. I was struggling with stress and perfectionism and exhaustion and adrenal stuff and whatever. And I had asked her what it was she was doing to me, and she answered me that she's bumping my frequency.
Hmm.
And when my frequency gets closer to where it should be, then all of this, all of the side effects of what I don't like, I should see starting to just drop off. I'm emphatic. I say all, but just side effects that I don't care for would go
Uh-huh.
away. And I saw that was true. And it seems to be the principle that Hahnemann uses, who wrote The Organon of Medicine, and he's who homeopathy is like, all homeopathy is based on his work now.
Okay.
So, and he talks about like a life force. And so I'm wondering if that has to do, like, your life force is better when you're healthy and it's worse when you're stressed or unhealthy. And so it's kind of sounding like a frequency thing too, really,
Yeah.
to me.
A lot of things coming together.
Yeah, so I guess in the meantime, as we work on things, like we can put on solfeggio tones or like binaural beat, like waves,
Hmm.
to kind of help us step into resonance. People can look for those on YouTube for free. I also got this Wave Watch, is what it's called, Wave Watch 2. And it's like a speaker that is on a watch that the speaker touches your arm and the sound goes into your nervous system. That might be a
Oh,
good thing to help people train. And I think like the last week's conversation, the biggest thing I took away from that was how important it is we ask for what it is that we're wanting.
hmm.
You know, like I could stand to ask my inner wisdom probably every day this week. Like, hey, can you show me what it looks like to live in presence in a new, effortless way? Can you
Wow.
show me how to do that? Make it so easy for me. And can you help me do it until I can do it by myself?
Hmm.
You know, I
And
ask these things all the time and it works.
well, I think doing these episodes, reframing what that even means, helps with the request.
Absolutely. Yeah, the more you're aware of and the more you've thought through it, you know yourself, you know, or you know this topic and you want to now get experience with this.
Hmm.
Like, that's all it takes.
Okay, those are our thoughts, our reflections this week. Join us on the Mastering Thought channel. Check out Thought Masters, the online community we have, and
Mm-hmm.
you can find all the information on Thought Masters channel in the notes for the different shows.
Mm-hmm.
All righty,
All righty. Think deeper, live bolder.
there you go.
I memorized it.
Very good.
And it's a good message.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.